Welcome back to Pathfinder Kingmaker. I didn't really mean to go into the throne room to have stuff happening, but that's what happened. So here we go with Jod coming to petition us, telling us that, Your Grace, I've brought you an extremely unusual message. It is, how should I put it, an essay on your barony. Written by Jubilost Narthropple and published only recently. I thought you might like to see it for yourself. Jod hands you a magazine. We get the Independence magazine. This is rather long, but still. It's written by Jubilost, so it's probably quite humorous. Have you ever dreamed of becoming a baron? It's not that hard. All you have to do is go to the Stolen Lands, a tiny region located between Brevoy and the River Kingdoms, and a source of dispute for those two for many years. Miles and miles of woods, swamps, and infertile clay soils infested with monsters and bandits. It's something like a white elephant. One can't hold it, but also can't give up on it and let the neighbor have it. For many years, the rest of Swordlords have been promising a title to anyone who manages to bring some resemblance of order to this god's forsaken land. This is just the usual way rulers solve their problems. There are plenty of adventure seekers, and you can always find another naive, brave soul who would gladly risk his or her life without prepayment. There were many who took the bait. Their sun-bleached bones still litter the banks of muddy lakes and lie in piles under crooked trees. You can imagine how astonished I was then when someone managed the feat, breaking the antlers of a local kingpin called the Staglord and turning the bandits' fort into the capital of a new barony. Of course, I departed for these lands immediately to witness with my own eyes the one who managed to install control over the Stolen Lands. Let's be honest, the achievements of the new baron are still quite moderate. My letter didn't get there in time. I hope the courier who had to deliver it is alive and well. Since no one could meet me, I decided to get to the capital on my own, which was a strategic mistake, for the road building in the barony functions even worse than its mailing service. I barely made my way through the mud and wind-fallen trees just to narrowly escape drowning at the river ford. The only thing that kept me going was the anticipation of the joy the baron would express when I told him about the marvelous scientific novelty called a bridge. Furthermore, a horde of hungry kobolds jumped out from the underbrush. But just when I was getting ready to kiss my life goodbye, the Baron himself emerged from the woods, fought off all the pests and helped me get to the firm ground. As it turned out, the Baron has a strong justification for neglecting roads and bridges. While his capital is under construction, he lives on the road and with the help of his companions patrols the realm, dealing significant damage to the local ever-hungry fauna. May the plague take it. Trolls, boggards, will-o-wisps and giant spiders really impede the improvement of public services. I've offered the Baron my advice and my active help. You can spit in the faces of those who claim Jubilost can only criticize. You can try out your luck as well, though the title of the ruler is already taken. The young barony offers plenty of vacancies both for labourers and for sellswords. Just don't repeat the mistakes of your predecessors. Demand payment in advance. As for those of you who prefer to learn about wildlands and dangerous adventures from the magazine pages, we will meet in the next issue. Right. Could have been worse. Okay, so let's go do what I actually intended to do. Which is jump on over to the tavern. Then talk to Jenna. Ah, here's Tig. As soon as the peasant woman sees you, she falls to her knees trying to kiss your hand. Oh, your grace, our deliverer. You saved him. You rescued my little one. What would we ever do without you? Every day until the day I die, I shall pray to all the gods for your health. We get plus 3 loyalty to the barony and 600 experience points. Well, that's not what we expected when we went looking for that missing kid, but that's what the Stolen Lands are like. Take a step past your fence and you're likely to meet lizard folk, evil spirits, or God knows what else. A paradise for adventurers, sure, but why do normal people still live here? That's very, negative of you, Lindsay. Right, I don't think we need any of that. Let's exit, and on this particular adventure we will be going all by ourselves. Or maybe not. Well, need to fix that. We'll bring Harim, Jaethal, not Octavia, Amiri, Jubilost, and Ekon. Okay, let's switch out Jubilost with Lindsay. Then we'll do where is it? I thought this quest was complete. Investigate my death. Okay, so we need to go to the old sycamore.
A rest would be welcome.
Yeah, whatever. You're not that tired. My question is, where the heck do we go? A dead boar's carcass near the old sycamore. It's safe to assume that, at least I hope it's safe to assume that it is up here somewhere. This is where the sycamore is. But there's definitely no dead boar carcass here.
Forwards.
Applause, please.
Maybe it's over here.
Without a doubt.
Okay, instead of wandering aimlessly around, let me just check where it is. There we are. So it is right there in the middle of the map. Jaethal approaches the boar's carcass, carefully examining the ground around it. See, there should be a pool of blood, but it's not here. It seems the beast came from somewhere else, already wounded, and then died here. But I can't track the direction. The ground is rocky. It would take a troll to leave footprints here. Jaethal inspects the wounds on the boar's neck. The cuts are distinctive, like the kind my dagger would make. It has a few deep serrations on one side of the blade, so it wounds like a saw-toothed weapon on that side. So far everything backs up the half-elf story, but how can we find the one who stabbed the boar? Ekon looks closely at everything around him. A strange place. Anxiety knocks on the door of my mind. Don't understand where it came from. Let us do this one that has already been passed. There's not much blood around the wound. Looks like it was inflicted once the blood had already curdled. After the beast's death, not before. Astute. As for the wound, it's all very strange. We need more information. Can do perception. We should carefully examine everything around here. If the boar was already wounded when it came here, there must be a trail of blood somewhere. Traces were easily discovered. Marks of dark blood spotting the ground here and there, leading westward. Easier than I imagined. The trail is clear. It leads to the Thorn River. We should search the shores. We might find something there that points towards the dagger's owner. Thorn River bank has been revealed. Excellent. Leave. Not sure where this Thorn River.
A rest would be welcome.
Ah, there we go. And well, that's not too far off. Still only Caledorn needs a rest. Which is fine.
Our path leads on.
Look ahead.
This looks familiar. I think it's reusing assets again. Potion of Shield of Faith. Mushrooms.
Without a doubt. We shall overcome!
Who will prevail? Does it matter?
I think we will prevail. But don't worry, Harim.
Stop. Look.
How curious.
So many traps.
Anything else?
It's a gang of elves here.
Please. Applause, please.
Wait.
And Lindsay was called forth.
Okay.
Can you make an epic pose? I need inspiration.
A rest would be welcome.
Yes. Now what? Jaethal freezes in front of the dead elven girl. It's hard to read anything on the Inquisitor's face, but her posture suggests tension. The trembling force of a tightly stretched bowstring. What a lovely child. And she looks so like my Nortillara. Even death couldn't twist her beauty. With a blank look in her eyes, Jaethal passes her hand above the girl's body. The feeling of an oppressive force, cold and painful, becomes nearly physical. A convulsion passes through the body of the dead elven girl. With a quiet moan turning into a cry, the corpse opens her eyes and rises. Jaethal looks at her in amazement, as if she's surprised by what she has done. Knowledge Arcana check passed. Animating the dead? I had no idea you could do that. I never knew this side of my power. Something has awakened in me. The ability to share Urgathoa's gift. Jaethal studies her newly created undead with the look of a sculptor contemplating her creation. Withering under this stare, the undead girl begins to tremble. What have you done to me? What is this? I saved you from oblivion, you and all your beauty, foolish child. Now you bear Urgathoa's gift, just as I. You are undead, if you prefer the word used by uncomprehending, narrow minds. No, no, it's better I follow my friends into death than to become a disgusting undead creature. An unnaturally strong convulsion shakes the girl's body. It glares at you. I beg you for mercy. She doesn't have a heart, but you're different. You still live. Let me die. Put me out of my misery. Why did you attack us? The wide eyes of the elven girl are filled with confusion. We only meant to protect ourselves. The Wanderer warned us that this monster was chasing us. The elf points at the icy calm Jaethal. He told us that she sought new sacrifices. Everyone in Kyanin knows that she killed elves for the sake of her damned goddess, and still she managed to get away with it, walked freely into exile. If we had known that she would track us down, we would never have left the forests of our homelands. Who was this wanderer who claimed that Jaethal was chasing you? We knew him as Wanderer, but it is only a nickname. I do not know what his truer name is. He is a half-elf. My friends knew him. They said that he has a wanderer's soul that takes him from one place to another. I've seen him a couple of times in Kyanin, and recently I've seen him on the road. He caught up with us to warn us of the danger. He has brown hair and yellow-green eyes like a cat. Please, I don't know anything else. Release me. Every moment in this lifeless body drives me mad. Jaethal, what are you going to do with this poor girl? I will not harm her, and I will not let her harm herself. She is frightened and does not understand the gift she just received. Elves live long lives, but they are still subjects of time. Only Urgathoa's gift can shield them from it. Eternal life, eternal youth, eternal immortal beauty. Can anything else be compared to this? Jaethal says the last words thoughtfully, as if the answer is not entirely clear to her. Can't believe I say it, but I agree with the corpsey one. Everyone can fall down and die. You don't need no bravery or brains for that. If you fall, you must get up and move on. I've done it many times, and I bet this Elfie will be able to get back up too after she pulls herself together. Too bad to be undead? Worse to be really dead or when you give up. Why would someone prolong the senseless agony of being when one can be finished with it once and for all? I do not like this. Arim shakes his head in condemnation. Well, I will go with the chaotic good one then. I have made a decision. You should allow the poor girl to die, Jaethal. This is her wish, plus, for some, eternity might not be a gift. Jaethal frowns. I cannot disobey my patron and master of these lands. However, I hope that you will not make a habit of disposing of valuable resources like that. Such waste is bad for both the ruler and his subject. I do not know who to believe in this story. Did the merchant deceive us, or is this girl lying? So far, it all points to one thing. The half-blood lied to us. And he did not merely lie, it was he who killed me in the wastelands. He took the dagger, then planted it in his own shop for me to find. Scared the elves with his lies and intentionally sent us here. Awful good. If Eneo really deceived both us and these elves, forcing us to shed innocent blood, then he must be made to pay. You see, now we both have something to ask the half-blood about. This will be amusing. Let us hurry to the capital. Masterwork dagger. Ring of protection +1. Bedroll? Oh, rations. Little bit of loot. Megaloceros. Okay.
Forwards. I will see this through. Stand with me.
Okay, so it's nothing special, it's just a big elk. Okay. I think that about
We march ahead.
concludes our business here. Let us get back to the capital then.
A rest would be welcome.
There's some stuff happening here. Oh, we've done that. And that's about it for now. Probably going to yammer about resting all of them very soon. I don't want him to get exhausted, so let's do that then. And begin resting.
I've heard the locals talking about some water rules.
You probably mean the River Freedoms. They're the traditional laws of the River Kingdoms. By the way, the first of them guarantees freedom of speech, though some rulers don't give a damn about it.
Excellent. I'm guessing this shop is in the main square then. Ah, he's over there. Or he was over here. It seems that Aneo disappeared, leaving his more cumbersome belongings behind. He's fled, as I expected. Jaethal touches the boxes that hold the merchant's wares. Her moves seem relaxed until you notice that her undead fingers are tense and bent like the claws of a predator. It is pointless, illogical. Those children in the woods could hardly be expected to kill us. Why the performance? There must be something. Jaethal freezes, then in an instant she pulls a note from Aneo's wares. She glances at it and silently hands it to you. There is only one phrase on the note, "No way out," and the image of a spiral comet in place of a signature. Do you know the symbol? Of course, the spiral comet is a symbol of Pharasma. Long ago, my goddess managed to break free from the grip of the Lady of Graves. Ever since, she treats Urgathoa's very existence as a personal affront. The half-blood must be a particularly zealous follower of Pharasma. He's already tried to kill me twice. Awful neutral. Whatever Aneo believes, he has no right to lie and drag people unwittingly into his holy war. Perhaps he's both fanatic and fool. He struck me down like a coward in the wastelands, only to see me rise again with renewed strength. Then he used those unfortunate youngsters against me, only to fail again. A lack of scruples can be a strength, but not if one lacks will. Thank you for your help. I will not distract you further. I will seek out this amateur backstabber and will inform you immediately of any news. The half-blood wants to dispatch me to his goddess, let him do it in person. Items received, farewell note from Eneo, and 750 experience. That's nice. Yeah, so that's about it for that thing. We also have Amiri's quest to kill a Hodag. And then we have the Sorrow Flow. I don't think this one is timed. We've completed that. What I need to do is sell stuff and then clean up my inventory so that I can move out on my own, because we are going to do the quest Adjust Ward, and we have to go alone, otherwise nothing's going to be there. So I'll just pause the recording while I sell and clean up the inventory. There we go. These rations have a substantial weight. I don't know how I can split them. There we go. Because we probably should bring 2 of them. And since we have bags of holding, our weight is now 0. Since we have this one, which reduces with 200 pounds, and this one, which reduces with 100 pounds. So we have 300 pounds of free carries weight, which is excellent. Now, this quest is interesting, and we'll probably end up doing it in the next episode, but let's at least travel to the spot. Traveling all on our own is not something that I'm too fond of, but especially not as a sorcerer. Apparently there's something happening in the kingdom, but I can't do anything about it because I'm outside of it.
A rest would be welcome.
Let's just use rations. And I'll cut this episode a little bit short, and we will do the verdant chambers in the next episode. So thank you all so very much for joining me, and I will see you all next time.